It's time for the Connor Kaylee Showdown.
Ladies and gentlemen, you could have been anywhere in the world tonight, but you're here with us at the DawgNation studio. I hope you guys are ready for the very first ever Connor Kaylee Showdown. Connor, I don't even know if you're ready.
Look, like Arthur Morgan, John Marston, and I am ready to be the cowboy and ultimately win this showdown.
And we do have a special guest appearing in our first showdown. Can we give a hand for our referee, Cody Chaffins?
All right. You guys played safe out there.
There will be no promises in the Connor Kaylee Showdown. So here's how this one is going to work. As you know, Connor and I tend to go head-to-head sometimes on air, all in good fun, okay? But we put out something on social media last week. Our super awesome social media coordinator, Casey Dunn, put together this game where you have $15 to spend on 5 positions. So how it's going to work, we're going to show you guys what options. Connor and I will make our picks, and then Cody is going to decide who has the better pick. So for $5, you can take Aaron Murray, Herschel Walker, A.J. Green, Brock Bowers, Andrew Thomas. $4, you can take Bennett, Chubb, Edwards, McMichael, Stinchcomb. For $3, you can take Stafford, Gurley, Pickens, Charles, or SVP. $2, you can take Zaire, Hurst, Mitchell, Pope, or Wynn. And then for $1, you could have David Green, Michelle, McConkey, Sadowski, and Jones. Those are your options right there. You've got $15 to spend. You can do it any way you want, and we are going to encourage you and to put your picks in the comments. So I'm excited for this one. I have a feeling that my list is pretty strong.
It can be incredibly strong, and it won't be better than mine. So let's go ahead.
Well, we're going to let the unbiased person decide. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got here. All right. Connor, I'll let you go first. Walk us through your picks.
We're starting with Matthew Stafford. I think perhaps the most talented quarterback to ever play at Georgia. I think there were a lot of people that were like, how could you have Stafford at $3? If you base it on what they have done at Georgia, I think Aaron Murray had a better career than Matthew Stafford. I know Stetson Bennett had a better career than Matthew Stafford. And so with Stafford, I get a talented player. Maybe didn't exactly do everything at Georgia he necessarily wanted to, but I feel very good there. Look, in my opinion, I love Todd Gurley. I've enjoyed getting to watch him play. I was at college at the same time that he was. He was incredible. I think his 2014 season is one of the lost great seasons, not just in Georgia football history, but in the 21st century of college football. And so I have to have him on my team. With George Pickens, $3. Look, Georgia's going to do some things. He's going to make some great catches. He might also get thrown out of a game for fighting. But we need a difference maker on the outside, and I would just love to see Stafford chucking it deep to George Pickens and George just running it down. Tight end, look, it's expensive, sure, but there's no one better than Brock Bowers. I believe he is the best player to ever put on the Georgia uniform, to ever wear the Georgia G on the side of his helmet. There are a lot of great tight ends that have played for the University of Georgia, but I wasn't messing around, and I was going and willing to spend anything to get Brock Bowers on my team. And then, Ben Jones is a longtime veteran in the NFL and a guy that had a very good career at Georgia. But I think most importantly, he just sort of fits with the vibes that I want to have on this team. Like, could my team possibly lose at home to Tennessee and that'll end up keeping him out of the SEC championship game? Sure. But you will not find a team that has more fun and scores more points than my team. So for $3, we got Stafford, Gurley, and Pickens. That's 9. For $5, that's Brock Bowers. That gets us to 14. And for $1, we got the great Ben Jones at the center position.
All right. So let me tell you why you're wrong. Let's go ahead and bring it back up. First off, David Green at $1 is an absolute steal. And if you can't see that, you must be blind, because David Green, a part of the Hobnail boot game, legendary, right? Also led Georgia to their first SEC championship since I believe it was 1982. I could not believe my eyes when I looked at the graphic and I saw that he was the $1 person. I mean, immediate, no doubt. And then, okay, I'm gonna group these next two together. We have gotten some I guess tension or backlash from the audience for you and I stating that Brock Bowers is the greatest player to ever play for UGA. Well, I feel like that girl from the taco commercial when she's like, well, why can't we have both? And that's exactly what I did by putting both. Herschel Walker and Brock Bowers on my team, and you could come at me and say, oh, Kaylee, well, David Green wasn't great at running the ball. I don't need him to run the ball. I have Herschel Walker on my team along with Brock Bowers. You can't, I mean, I think those two alone could take everybody else on your list. Forget a quarterback. I could just have those two, and they're taking your whole list. Again, another steal for $1. Ladd McConkey, are you kidding me? Someone who's able to make incredible plays. I mean, unhuman-like plays for that matter. I do like your take in George Pickens here, but I'm going with my guy Ladd McConkey here. He's just, you know, he's all in good fun. And then Cedric Van Pran, 3-year starter. He's my leader guy. He's the one that's keeping all these guys in check. I needed somebody who had a lot of experience, but could also manage all these big personalities that I have on my team. So with that, I mean, I feel good about where this is going. And I'm sorry that you're just not built like me.
Por que lo nos dos? You know, look, we're going to have a great time in our team. We've got some talented players. We're going to throw the ball around. We're going to have a fun time. And look, I mean, your team, look, how are you going to expect it to be getting the ball to Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey when you have to turn around and hand the ball off to Herschel Walker every play, as seemed to be the case in his time at the University of Georgia? That's a lot of mouths to feed. And I just wonder about team chemistry over there with your team and what you guys are going to be able to do. I think all my guys are going to go along. I think they're all going to have a fabulous time together. But I just have some questions about how you're going to spread the ball around on offense when you do have guys like Herschel Walker commanding such a high carry load.
So here's the thing. You keep talking about how great of a time that they're going to have. That is not what this is about. This is not about the team that can have the most great time. This is about the team that's going to win. And I think it's very evident by how you're going about this that I have the better team. But there's only one way that we can decide here, and that is our wonderful referee, Cody Chapins. Cody, just go ahead and tell us how it is.
All right, so it's our first time that I'm refereeing, so you'll learn this about me. You got to play to the referee a little bit. Nobody picked my fellow Chambly Bulldog Troy Sadowski for $1. That's a steal at tight end, right? I do agree that Connor's team's going to win the party, whether it's Stafford at Talladega or Gurley or George Pickens, Ben Jones. I can just see him with that Georgia Tech turf in his mouth. So they're definitely going to win the party. And Kaylee is going to have incredible leadership. You got SVP on her team. You got David Green doing his. That team's not going to get out of line. Ladd McConkey doing the community work. So I do love that. When it's all said and done, I think the first Connor Kaylee Showdown winner is Kaylee Mansell.
Yes.
And I do think the folks in the comments will again jump on Connor for sliding Herschel Walker. Another time he goes with Brock Bowers over Herschel.
I mean,
Look,
I would say surprised, but not really.
Look, I saw Todd Gurley play with my own 2 eyes. I know what that man is capable of. I'm very confident in what we have at the running back position here.
Oh, I'm glad that you're confident in yourself. That's all you should really be. But, I mean, I feel great about this win. We are starting off on a strong note. To be honest, I really wasn't worried, like, at all. Not even for a second. So, talk about confidence.
I would just like to point out, I had to submit my team in advance, whereas Kaylee did not share her team with me. That is not fair opposition research. I would just like to let the audience know that I'm working at a disadvantage here.
Okay, well, let me just clarify. That is a cheap shot by Connor Riley, who is being a sore loser right now because I had to have his picks in order to make the graphics. So I don't need to explain myself, but I will. But that was our first Connor Kaylee Showdown. And as always, Kaylee takes the cake here. So Kaylee won. Connor 0, Cody Chafins, we thank you for being the best referee out there. And now we know moving forward that we've got to cater to the refs. So that hopefully will help both of us going forward.